Imagine making trades so massive that the entire financial market starts to watch your every move. Banks panic, hedge funds start celebrating, and journalists start investigating. And before it's over, your trades have cost one of the biggest banks over $6 billion. This is an unbelievable story of the London whale. It was the year 2012 and the bank was J.P Morgan Chase. At the time, J.P Morgan was considered one of the safest and strongest banks in the world. It had survived the 2008 financial crisis better than many of its competitors. The CEO, Jamie Dimon, was praised as one of the best bankers in America. Behind the scenes, one trader was quietly building positions so huge that people in the market gave him a nickname. They called him the London Whale. His name was Bruno Iskew. He worked in J.P. Morgan's Chief Investment Office in London. His job wasn't supposed to be exciting. He wasn't even supposed to be making risky bets. He was supposed to protect the bank's balance sheet by hedging risk. But over time, the hedgings became so large that it started looking less like insurance and more like giant speculative bets. Bruno's trade became impossible to ignore, and other traders began to notice something strange. Whenever he entered the market, prices moved, not because of economic news, not because of central banks, but because one man was buying and selling in enormous sizes. Imagine being so influential that your order alone changes the entire market. This is exactly what happened. Soon, hedge funds realized what was happening. Instead of avoiding him, they did the opposite. They tried to figure out where he was most vulnerable. Then they began trading against him. At first, J.P. Morgan wasn't worried. Management believed that these positions would recover. Executives described concerns as exaggerated. Some even dismissed the report as a tempest in a teapot. But the market kept moving against the bank. The losses grew, hundreds of millions, then billions. The positions had become so large that existing them without affecting the prices was almost impossible. The bank found itself trapped. Every attempt to reduce risk created even more losses. By the time the trades were unwound, J.P. Morgan had lost over $6 billion. The scandal dominated headlines around the world. Investigations followed. US and UK regulators scrutinized the bank's controls. J.P. Morgan ultimately paid substantial fines related to the episode. The bank also overhauled part of its risk management and internal controls. People often ask if Bruno Iskew was solely responsible, but the answer is very complicated. Investigations concluded that weaknesses in oversight, risk management, and reporting all contributed to these big losses. This story becomes a reminder that even the world's biggest financial institutions can suffer enormous losses when risk grows beyond what managers can fully understand. Because in trading, the most dangerous positions are often the ones that become too big to control. Follow me for more interesting forex stories that proves reality is often stranger than fiction. My name is Mamuz and I tell real forex stories. See you in my next video. Bye.